The experience up to here, let's say, the the leisure time was kind of fun because we had a very big. Very interesting discussions and very interesting issues. Talking not just me and Rita with each other, but everyone that we started knowing and started gathering.
And it's very interesting to say, since we're all children with the same interests.
Yeah.
We came here, and after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we were already connecting to each other, and things we were getting along with each other so quickly. And for me, that was amazing to see. And what I will take from here is that actually together, children can be stronger. Even though we're in different countries, even though we have different perspectives of the world, here it was a proof for me. And the different languages, of course, it was much more difficult to have a discussion. You have the translators, and then the translators aren't there.
But it was fun. Come on.
Even though
it was fun. I think it was fun. Sometimes when listening even to French and to Spanish that you didn't quite understand the whole sentence or the whole statement that the translator was making, it was fun listening just and waiting for a new language to come and to show and to even to tell to another young 11-year your older boy to know what are we talking about. We're talking about the general lesson that we're going to, and you have to know that you have to go like 30 minutes earlier or stuff like that. It was pretty interesting, but I don't know, probably.
For me, and now I think this is a fact. For me, I think it was the most important thing of this all. I've been very impressed of this whole of the whole thing. I've been very impressed about the differences between us. And even though we all have the possibility and we're equally here represented, when you look at children from Europe and when you look at children from Africa and the different attitudes and the way they behave and the way they talk to other people and the way they get along, when the way they look at you, and it's so different. And for me, that has been, I don't know, it moves with my heart. It shows me that a lot still needs to be done. Because these children, they're privileged children to be here, but they're representing a nation that suffers more than they do, and that struggles so much. And then you look at people from Europe, and they more or less have everything given. Even though, okay, they have the problems, they have unemployment, they have a lot of stuff, but that's almost that's almost nothing comparing to the others. And this was clear here.
Yeah, we were having a very weird discussion yesterday, in fact. Oh, no, it was today about since we all share a common interest, or let's say a common perspective on politics or representative structures, and as well we do have common friendship with older people, although we do understand our peers, and although we do give to the others, although we deliver their voice to the others, it's sometimes better if this kind of conferences, not sometimes better, but it can be like an experiment. This conference would be like very random people, not the very chosen one, not the one that know how to deliver the voice, but just very random children, and just say directly. I know it won't be easy. It would be much difficult for them to be understood, or even to make them learn. But I don't know, just for an experiment, a very low cost one, that's a very low cost meeting and gathering from different parts. Even in New York, you can find like 128 nations of the world, and then ask for their opinions and ideas. Do they know their right? Or, for example, Rita told me about the town hall and the questions that were made and the answers that were given, the answers that were taken from the directors or from the heads of the whole structures or instances.
Disappointment
we felt the same with the lecture that came in there.
Our answers our questions didn't get answered directly, because
we know diplomacy, but not that way. Probably
there was a girl from Kenya, and she was asking, like, can you please tell my government that the fact that children get raped every day by their parents, because the parents will think that through this way they don't go to hell. Would you please tell them and remind them that a law must be done against it? And people are like, oh, but the law doesn't help because it is a myth and blah, blah, blah. But actually they knew there was a problem. Or the fact that in developed countries, children don't know their rights.
Even in developed countries.
How should they do it in developing? And people just didn't answer. We can understand that a lot still has to be done, but at least tell them, I'm sorry, I don't know, we're working on that. And this is what you want. And I was talking to the person on the mission of Portugal, and she was like, do you know what is the best thing to work with young children? And I was like, what? is to actually see how things are not thought, how things are said from the heart and not from the head. And this is amazing about you. And this is why we need to talk to you. Things seem way more simple to you. And they could be made simple if through your eyes things come to us. And I think this is where we play a pivotal role.
That's exactly one very good point. Well, the town hall meeting was some kind of a very small failure in the beginning because since they didn't get any, let's say, precise answer, then of course we didn't get what we wanted. So we can fight for what is not going right in the world.
But at the same time, the audience, a lot of people from the audience came to us and said, "You did a great job. You showed these people that you are something to look at." And this is maybe what we must do. Even though the panel didn't answer us, the NGOs, the government representatives who were there looked at us and saw us and listened to us.
There are so many points that can be raised by these kind of problems. One came into my mind while we were asking a question to a lecturer. I don't know, probably 2 days before, because I didn't have the chance to go to the town hall. And the question was quite simple. Since UN is funded by the United Nations and does have to follow the UN policies and does have to follow the whole UN politics system, what happens in those countries? Well, the UN policies and the UN politics cannot afford to interfere in political problems. And I mentioned Darfur as an example. For example, does UNICEF have to interfere in there so it can help the children? Does UNICEF have to go to the children and then help them because they're not part of the war and they're much more innocent than the people that are creating this war and not making the right environment to be solved? And there was such a very, let's say ironic answer. Well, probably I'm not the right one, he said, to give the answer, so I may have some assistance. Well, I could totally understand that not everyone could know everything in here, because the different perspectives for every person that works in here in different, departments, exactly, different departments to work. But and anyways, this is very precise answer. What did UNICEF do in this? What does UNICEF do, or what is the UNICEF action in this kind of situations? Does UNICEF have to follow the UN policies or not? Or just help and protect the children of the whole world? It doesn't matter if the countries are part of the UN solving of the problem or not. And the other problem of the information, even in developed country, children are not aware of their rights. What happens in the developing country? It seems like there are going to be a lot in the future. This kind of problems that if it's not going to be working with them, then no solving will be indeed.
But in the end, just to end with this, I think that this is already a progress. The fact that we're here.
I'm just saying.
And this is the beginning, as I already said. And I truly believe that maybe in 5 years, in 2 years, 400 children, 70 children, 10 children will be coming again to UNICEF. Mm-hmm. And UNICEF is playing a very good role on this.
Very good points.
And everything, where we had amazing comments, we had support from UNICEF people, and we are happy to help. We are happy to come here in 5 years, not as children anymore, but to give our experience, to tell them how it was when we were children, and and to see how it is now. And I'm sure a difference will be made.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Even that it's 5 years later and the promises were for a better world fit for children, I think there's still improvement to be made. But the first step, like listening to children, is the very best one. It's like it could be not the same 128 same speeches for the same problems in the General Assembly, but it could be like a very good present for Christmas for children, if their requirements would be listened.
There is no doubt we are the present and will be the future, and we hope we can change the future.
I know it's their present now, but yeah, let's listen a little bit to us. We're still the present.
Thank you.
Thank you.